It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Mona Gray, who's in the building. What's going on, Mona Gray? How are you?
I am fabulous, Shay. How's it going?
Man, I'm excited to have you here. It seems like just 2 weeks ago, I was meeting you for the first time, having eye-to-eye contact. I watch you MC an event, watching you do what you do best in your zone of genius. And then I found out there's another zone of genius. Like, whoa, I thought she was just someone on stage, doing her thing. For the folks right now who are reading your bio, so they see how cool you are, but they're curious. Just clear the gray. Does that mean, not that I have gray hairs. Hopefully you can't see any on here. But does clear the gray mean clear the gray inside of you? What does clear the gray mean? And what should folks expect during this conversation?
Absolutely. So I wanted to play off of my last name, right? And going through my own personal life, I had to clear the gray. So what I mean by that is I had to go from my past, so living in my past, trying to get to my future. I could see my future, but I couldn't get there. So we know anything between the black and the white is the gray area. So between the past and the future, people normally get stuck in that gray area. So I'm helping them get from the past, get to their future by clearing the gray.
And then, like Shay, she can't just leave us hanging, Shay. I mean, she's talking about there was the past she had to get from. She can't leave us hanging. We all don't know Mona Gray, okay? So, one, I know she left you on a cliff. What was this gray that you was trying to get away from?
Yeah.
I'll make it a little easier. We'll do this. Tell the folks, who are you? Give us the backstory, and then what was the gray that you had to get from so you can be where you are now? We're all curious now. Now we're all on our edge of our seats. Okay.
Listen, I am going to be completely transparent. So I am a mom. I have 3 adult children. But for me, Shay, I had to fight fear. I'll be 40 here, and for the majority
Congratulations.
thank you. The majority of my life, I lived in fear. And that fear held me back from a lot of things in my life. It stopped me from growing. It stopped me from succeeding. And I got tired. I got tired of seeing everyone grow, living their dreams. And I was scared to live mine. And so I got tired. And I said, you know what? This was it. And I had to go back into my life and look over trauma, figure out how to get past that trauma so that once that trauma cleared, your girl is on a mission. I am on a mission to help anyone who is fearful, who is fighting fear, who is holding their past back to get to the front. And that's what I had to do for myself, from abuse to neglect to alcoholism in my family to molestation. All of those things that helped me back, that kept telling you, you're no good, you're not any good, you're damaged goods. I'm no longer that. I had to believe that in myself first. And so my goal, my mission is to help other people know that they are not damaged goods.
So if you're talking to the person now that's watching, that's listening, saying, Shay, I've got some things in my closet as well. And do you mind just jumping in and asking her what's the first thing that someone should do that may be in a situation they don't want to be in? What's the second thing they should do if they're trying to remove their past? And maybe what's a third idea? So I guess I'm asking for 3 ideas that someone is listening right now. They tuned into the show and they heard what you just said, and they're like, "That's me." What's the first thing that she would recommend that I do?
Yeah. Well, first of all, identify what those limiting beliefs are. So we got to sit down and figure out, okay, what is it that's holding you back, first of all? Okay. Second of all is let's examine what those old things are. Let's talk about them so that we can go ahead and remove that baggage. And then once we remove that baggage, now it's the encouragement. Let's go ahead and move forward to what your future is going to look like, because now you have examined, you got rid of, you tossed all those old notions, all those limiting beliefs out, and now it's time to move forward.
Do you work with folks to also help them determine their big why? Because it sounds like you knew what you wanted, right? And you say clear the gray. So we talked about the gray. You talked a little bit about some challenges you've had, some things folks could do that's in the situation now. But how does someone get clarity, right? Because you're like clear the gray, and they're just not sure.
Yeah. You know what's so crazy, Shay, is I didn't know what my why was for a very long time. I ended up taking a job in substance abuse and mental health. I knew nothing about substance abuse and mental health, but I knew how to fake it till I make it, right? And it was during COVID. The world was shut down, and I needed something to pay my mortgage. And so I went into this field. And the first thing that I was taught is, when you're speaking to someone that is going through trauma, tell your why. I didn't know what my why was. So I had to literally sit there and try to figure out what my why was. And in figuring out what that why was, I had to go all the way back to when Mona was a little girl and figure out what was stopping her from growing. And that's when I had to find out I had all this trauma built up inside of me. And I had to talk about who did it, why they did it, when they did it. And I had to forgive all of that. And that's how I am. That's how I got to where I am today.
Wow. Thanks for being transparent. Thanks for sharing. And for the person's
Yeah.
like, but Shay, how does she juggle it all? I did hear she had 3 kids. I did hear she's running a business. I did hear there's a lot going on, and it was confusing in her own life. So, what's her strategy to prioritization? What's her strategy to time management? How does this
hmm
person put all the balls in the air without dropping any?
Listen, by the grace of God, seriously, I literally, I'm an only child, right? And I have done everything on my own. And for a very long time, I was so hurt and broken. I would always say, I don't need anyone. I don't need anyone. I'm an only child. I'm used to doing everything on my own. And God had to wake me up one day and said, I did not put you on this earth to be by yourself. And so now, with a lot of prayer, my church family, my kids, because they're all grown now, but with my faith in God, that's what helped me. That's what helps me
Mm.
every day. I am nothing without Him. I can tell you that.
Faith in God has made that possible for you. That's super amazing. So, the folks you work with today, how do you help them with their mindset, with their belief systems?
Well, once again, it's really, I come across a lot of people that deal with a lot of trauma in their past. Um, I get a lot of individuals that talk about, um, no one believes in them. They don't have a very good support system, and so I provide a non-judgmental, safe environment for them to be vulnerable, and be able to release all of that. I've had an event called Unpack Those Bags. Let's go ahead and unpack those suitcases. Let's open it up. Let's take out everything that doesn't mean you any good, and let's go ahead and toss it and get rid of it. And so, because I provide a safe, nurturing environment for them to be able to talk about, setting boundaries, setting what their goals are going to be, and how they're going to say no. No is a complete sentence, and just giving them the breaking away from the fear to be able to move forward in their life. I am their sounding board. As a life coach, it's not my job to tell them what to do. My job is to let them know that what they have inside of them is what they need. They just need to know how to pull it out.
Just need to know how to pull it out. And so, when it comes to vision and goal setting, what's some of your strategies you have? And for those folks that are listening, you're talking to the one and only Mona Great. You're talking about clear the gray, and make space and way to really achieve what you want, not only in life but also in business.
Yeah. You have to really believe in yourself. Believe in yourself is one of the biggest things that I find a lot of individuals they don't do. Um, it's it's like it's taboo for them to say I am great. I am loving, I am kind. Those affirmations, a lot of people do not believe in them. And so setting affirmations and actually having to believe those, because those are things that you have to repeat over and over and over again until you get those things in your mind and know in your heart that you are kind, you are loving, you are smart, you can move forward, you can be great, you can be that millionaire. They need somebody to believe in them, and I am their number one cheerleader. So we normally start there.
I like that. I like that. Starting right there. So you've accomplished so much in the time that you've been doing what you're doing. One of my favorite questions I love to ask on these shows is, who's been a mentor to you, or what's one of the lessons you learned from any of your mentors on this journey of life that you can take the idea you've learned from them and you can be able to share it with us?
You know, what's crazy is I have gone through my life literally alone, right? And that's because I was so hurt and broken. I didn't want anyone to come in. I didn't trust a lot of people. And it's crazy because just at 48, I am now realizing that it's okay to trust people. And I will say that my first lady has been the biggest, and she doesn't even really know how big of an influence she is to me, because I look at her and I see how she speaks to people, I see how she talks to people, I see how she talks to me, how caring she is to me, and that rubs off on me, and now I'm able to give that back to other people, right? Because that's what we need. It's okay to tell people that you care about them. It's okay to smile at people. Sometimes you are the only person that can help them move on. I'm not going to be mean to other individuals. That's one thing I can't stand. I don't like when other people are mean to other people. And so I try to make sure that I provide them with a nice bright smile, just like that, a nice bright smile. And you know what? And sometimes that makes a person's day. That's how I start off. So I would actually say my first lady. She's so absolutely amazing. She just, you ever meet somebody that just has that sweet spirit? That's her. She's so kind. But if you're wrong, she gonna let you know you're wrong. But she does it in such a loving way. So I aspire to be like that.
What does success look like for you these days? I know success means different things to different people, but what does success mean to you? And more importantly, what does it look like for where you are in your life right now?
Yeah, I used to think that success meant a whole bunch of money, a big old house, three Benzes in my driveway. And honestly, it doesn't mean that to me anymore. As long as I have, a roof over my head and, food in my fridge, my Chevy Malibu, that is, that's success to me. To be able to just help, if I can help reach one individual by showing them that somebody cares about them and that they can, they can succeed in life, they can push forward. That's success to me. It's not about the money. The money is going to come. I know how to hustle. I know how to, put food on my table. I just want to be able to help one person a day. If I can help one person, then I've been successful that day.
Now, how did you find your way? You talked about earlier about how you want to save the world, which is amazing, by the way. So thank you. We need folks out there like you that want to make a difference, save the world, and it's important. I need someone to save me, so it's very important. But I know you also have another side of the business that you do, where you also are able to host. You're also able to be an MC. You're also able to speak. How did that journey start? Because it seems like the two direct opposites going on here, by the way. So I'm just curious.
So listen, Shay, I got so many crazy stories, but as a child, I was always by myself, only child, right? And I remember I used to go to the bathroom, and there used to be like shampoo bottles. And I would read those shampoo bottles as if they were um props in a commercial, like I was in a commercial. And I wanted to be a television broadcaster, right? But when I went off to college, I ended up having my first daughter, and I just gave up on life pretty much. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna be a mom. I can't be a television broadcaster. And I always wanted to be on that stage, even if it was just doing something as well, not as small to me, but just emceeing, calling people's name. And you shot a picture of me, and it's my screensaver. It has me in tears every time I look at it, because it shows me that I can still be that woman that I wanted to be on that stage, And yeah, that's how it came about. I always wanted to do it. I broke all that fear, and here I am hosting. And I do. I host travel presentations, just showing people how they can use travel to to grow and to be able to travel the world. And so now I'm in front of cameras, I'm holding mics in my hands, I'm actually living my dream finally, because I broke out of that fear.
Well, you can't leave us hanging on just you help people travel. So now people want to know where you travel to, and
Yeah.
and what's so important. So we got to hear about that in a moment. But on the other side, I will say that you did an amazing job. I would have never known that that was something you wanted to do. You seemed such like a natural on the stage. You were reading the names. You were reading what you had in front of you. You had control of the audience, and it just seemed like it was just natural for you. So great job, and I'm glad I could be there and glad I could witness it and be a part of something that you just truly enjoy. And we could all see that. But you mentioned travel. You say, I show people how to make money. I show people how to travel. So their first question is, Shay, why does she like travel so much? And Shay, where has she traveled to? What's one of her favorite spots? We want to know.
Oh man, what's not one of my favorite spots is the question. So travel, I absolutely love travel, and I love travel a lot because I didn't get to travel as a child, and now I have the opportunity as a travel business owner to show my kids the world of travel, show them that there is more than just America. God has given you blue waters, beautiful mountains, places that you are supposed to see in your life. And so some of my favorite places: Aruba, oh, love Aruba, Dominican Republic, love Mexico. I actually have a cousin who just moved to Mexico. I'm like, why didn't you take me with you? But
Oh, where in Mexico? Where in Mexico? We want to know. You don't remember.
Cancun. Oh,
I love
Cancun.
Cancun.
She lives in Merida.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Cabo. I mean,
I love
I
Cabo.
can go on and on and on.
I love all those. I'm going to hear for a moment what you enjoy most about helping folks be able to travel. I mean, I love Cabo. We go there every year. We'll be there again. I love Nueva, Villata, and Vivier Maya, and all the spots you're mentioning. I was in Antigua for the very first time, Aruba for the very first time 3 months ago, and someone said, "You're going to go one time, or you want to go back?" I'm like, nah. Well, guess what? My wife and I, we want to go back. Aruba, we're coming back to you, baby. Nueva, we'll be back again this year, I think for our third time. So we got to go back there. We'll be back there in a few months. But anyway, it's not about me. This is all about you. What do you enjoy most about just helping other folks be able to have more joy and more fulfillment? I mean, every time you talk about helping others, it's like you just light up like a Christmas tree. So where's that deep seated passion come from?
Nobody helped me when I was younger.
Mm.
No one told me that I could still, um, I can travel the world and I could bring other people with me. No one told me that when you had your first daughter, you could still be that television broadcaster. Your life isn't over. Um, I was the one out of all my friends who had a child while they went off and graduated from college. I didn't get my degrees until I was 38, 40 years old. I felt like my life was over. And now to be able to let other people know your life isn't over, you can still travel, you can still get a degree. Just because you bought your house at 45, 50 years old, that's an accomplishment. People don't have that. And I want to be able to be that voice for them.
I like that. Be a voice for the folks who don't have a voice for themselves. That is like super duper cool, super amazing. We have a segment here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show called Today is My January 1st. And for those folks that wait to say today is my January 1st, because you tune in with us every Monday through Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time daily, you're here, or maybe you're on the podcast. You can go to podcast, put in the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Some of you follow us at I am Che Brown on our YouTube, and you can subscribe. We love to have you. And so we welcome you. So you can now go and say those words. Today is my January 1st. And for those folks that are new, welcome. We love to have you to be part of the family. Today is our January 1st is our mantra. It means it's a fresh start. Today is my January 1st means I get a do-over. Today is my January 1st means my past. No matter what the past it doesn't matter what the past is no longer the future. In fact, Happy New Year to you, because today is your January 1st. My question to you, Mona, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, well, what do you hear? And what was one of your defining January 1st moments?
Yeah. Well, today is my January 1st. And I love that because every day we can have a new January 1st, right? Who's to stop us saying that tomorrow's a new January 1st, the next day is a new January 1st? And so for me, that gives me, if I messed up today, if I felt like I didn't do well, guess what? I can start all over again tomorrow because my mistakes, I'm not going to live in those mistakes. I am not subject to my past. I used to be subject to my past. And that's where a lot of that fear held me. But now that I have broken that fear, every day is a new January 1st for me. So, my most recent January 1st was March 12th. That was the day I got rebaptized and I started living my life unapologetically. I live my life unapologetically every day now. And so every day is my January 1st. I wake up, it's another day to start all over. If I felt like I didn't get it right yesterday, guess what? I'm going to get it right today. If I was mean to somebody yesterday, because I try not to be, but the next day, I can do that all over again. If I didn't tell someone I love them, I can do that today. Today's January 1st. If I didn't give you your flowers, guess what? I can do that today. Today's January 1st. I don't have to hold myself hostage to my past because my past does not define who I am.
Today is my January 1st. Indeed, it is for you. First, let me say thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. But before we do that, how can people, well, two questions. Number one, what type of folks are you working with today? So if they're listening, they want to know that. I'm not sure if your firm's taking on any clients. And number two, how can folks best connect with the one and only Mona Gray?
Absolutely. Yes, I am taking on clients. So I am doing individual sessions and I am doing group sessions. I do have some speaking engagements coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. As far as reaching me, there's several ways you can reach me. You can reach me for coaching on Instagram at clearthegray_coaching. Any travel, you can also reach me on Instagram at Pristine Adventures _travel. You can reach me on either one of my websites, clearthegray.com or pristineadventures.com, or feel free to email me at mona@clearthegray.com.
Wow, incredible. Let me say first, thanks a lot for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate you. You certainly make a big difference in the world.
Thank you. Thank you, Shay.
And
I appreciate
thank you, the viewer, for being here. We appreciate you because without you, guess what? Well, there is no show, and you are here, so we appreciate you. I want to remind you that, like I do every night, that you're amazing, you're awesome, you're incredible, and for you, today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason, your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember this, time is long. Life, on the other hand, well, it's very, very short. So you got to live in the moment. You got to make it count. God bless me. Wish you success. Thanks a lot, Mona. Appreciate you. We out. See you later. Peace, everybody. We gone. Bye-bye.